Hi guys. Please confirm that you can hear me. Hello. I really don't know if anyone can hear me right now. Okay, so let me just hope that everyone can hear me. Um Hi guys, welcome to the fourth session of Writings 3.0. So today we'll be talking about punctuation, capitalization, and how to use ab- abbreviations in technical writing. But before that, I would start with how to create an account on Medium and how to push an article to Medium. Since Medium is the platform that most of us will be using to submit our article. Let me share my screen now. All right. So this is Medium's homepage. So in order for you to like for people use Medium before, just go to medium.com and you would see their homepage. So you can get started if you don't have an account or you can sign in. So for me, I have an account on Medium. So all I just have to do is sign in and people are complaining that that they can't see. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Okay, can everyone see? Okay, give me a minute to sort. Let me stop sharing and we share again. Okay, 1%. No one can see my screen. Try that, please. Let me try sharing my screen again. All right, can anyone see my screen now? All right, thank you. Okay. Uh, so let me just continue. I'm sorry about that small technical error. So now, for you to access the Medium page, you just have to go to medium.com, and and then if you don't have an account, you can click on get started, and you would be able to create an account. But since I already have an account, I will just click on sign in. Then it will give me the option to account with Google, Facebook, Apple, Twitter, or email. But I already linked my Google, so I will just click here and sign into Google. It should take a while. All right. So now this is how your medium um, screen would look like. That's after you have created an account and you have successfully logged in. So you go to write here in order for you to write your article. So you input your article title here. So let's just say new title. So you input your article title here, and your the body of your article would be here. So this is like the main article body content. So now you can decide to add you can decide to add an image like a blog cover image here by clicking the image on your laptop, or you can add an image from Unsplash, or you can add a video, or add an embedded text. So this let's say you want to embed a link, so you can do that. This one is to add a code. So the code block is when you are writing on a software or a code related content, you use this to add your code. Then this one is to add a new part. So the new part is, let's say you decide to have three parts. The first part of your article might be this. Let me copy this. Then you can decide parts, click this. This is like for people that, so this is like for you to have different parts of your article. So do we have any question on that? Okay, so since no question, if you now decide to publish your article, I would suggest clicking, okay, yes, you can just click here to publish, and it will publish your article. But if you write your article and you want to send it to someone to preview or to review for you, you click these three dots, you go over to share draft link, and this link would give you a preview of this article that is here. Let me show you that real quick. So see it here. So this is like a preview of the test article that I did. So whoever would want to review your draft can easily like see how your content would be, and give you their feedback. And you also have the option of sharing it to Twitter or checking the history of your article. Like let's say you made a change to your article and you want to see, okay, you made a change and you want to like see how your article was before the change. So you can easily click here and it will tell you if you have any revisions. But since I don't have any revisions here, it would show there are no saved revisions for this story. Okay. So Do we have any question? Okay, so somebody asked, after imputing new parts you don't want, how do you remove it? Okay, so after imputing a part that you don't want, you can just highlight it and click backspace, like how you can easily delete a text from any word editor. I hope that answers your question. So do we have any other question about how to use Medium? All right. So since there are no questions, let's get into the agenda for the day. So first of all, we are going to talk about punctuation. What is punctuation? So how will I explain this? Okay, so punctuations, they are things like comma, semicolon, dash, parentheses. They are there to make your sentence clear to your reader. So now, without punctuation in a sentence, it will be really hard for your reader and for you when you are editing your article for you to actually understand what you are doing. So yeah, it says that okay, on commas, it says that programming languages enforce clear rules about punctuation. In English, by contrast, the rules regarding commas are somewhat hazier. As a guideline, insert a comma whenever a reader would naturally pause somewhere within a sentence. Like, let's say you have a sentence like uh Mary is a girl. Sh- Mary is a girl. She is 10. So you are supposed to impute your comma after the Mary is a girl, because like you want your reader to pause at that point, to pause and digest the information that Mary is a girl before moving on to she is 10 years old. So I don't know if you guys really understood that. Oh, it says here, okay, for a musically inclined, for the musically inclined, if a period is a whole note rest, then a comma is perhaps a half note or quarter note rest. So I'm not musically inclined, so I really don't know how to talk about that sentence. So okay, great. So they even gave us an example sentence like this. C behaves as a mid-level language, just a couple of steps up in abstract from assemble language. So if this comma did not exist, you as a reader would have to read this whole thing at once. And to some that have like to some that understands information very very slowly, they will not really understand this. So the comma here would suggest to your reader that when they see this, they're supposed to pause and understand the first thing that they read, which is C behaves as a mid-level language. Pause and understand that before you move on to just a couple of steps in abstraction from assemble language. So yeah, it says that some situations require a comma. For example, the use of comma to separate items in an embedded list, just like this. Our company uses C++, comma, Python, comma, Java, comma, and JavaScript. In a case where there are no commas, personally, this sentence would actually be very, very weird. And then another thing is when you want to use and it writing requires picking the list. Command is a wonderful All right, guys. Sorry for the technical issues. Please, if you can hear me, just drop a comment, please. If you can hear me, just let me know. All right, so let's just continue. On punctuation, I was trying to explain that there are some cases where it's best to use a full stop than to use a comma. For example, this sentence. It's good and nice and readable, but it's better if you use to separate the information that you are trying to pass. So this is okay, but is not recommended. This is recommended. So another punctuation is semicolon. This dot up and comma down. So semicolon is a period that separates the distinct thoughts. So a semicolon unites highly related thoughts. For example, this sentence, um, we run frambles after we run frambles after updating your configuration file, semicolon. Don't rerun frambles after updating the existing after updating the existing source code. So this is like part of this sentence. So it's like a related thoughts. Yeah, so another one is this sentence. This one here. Don't rerun frambles after updating existing source code. Rerun frambles after updating your configuration file. So this is like a related information of when you should actually rerun frambles. So now this is a bad example of how to use a semicolon. Rerun frambles after updating your configuration file. Semicolon, not after updating the existing source code. So this is a bad example. This is a better example of how to do that. So instead of using the semicolon, you can replace the semicolon with a comma and you are good to go. So another example of another bad example of how to use a semicolon is this one. Style guides are bigger than the moon. Semicolon, more essential than oxygen, semicolon, and completely inscrutable. That's a bad example. So instead of using the semicolon in this um, example, you can use a comma to pass the information more. Plus, more essential than oxygen is nowhere related to style guides, to how big guides are. So another punctuation is M dash, as this dash here. So yeah, it says that M dash are compelling punctuation marks, rich with punctuation possibility. So this is an example of how to use it. This. So I usually use this if I'm trying to give like a short explanation of what the sentence is about. So yeah, that's this example. It says C++ is a rich language, and a brief explanation can be one, requiring extensive experience to fully understand it. So this tells you that C++ is a good language, but you would need to have a lot of experience to fully understand C++. Oh, please, if you can't see my screen, you can just leave a comment, and I would ensure that you can see my screen well. So another punctuation is en dashes and hyphen. So the em dash is a bit sorry, the m dash is a bit wider than the n dash. So it's like your normal hyphen, but three times to make the m dash and twice of that to make the n dash. And then just once to make the hyphen. Okay, someone says they can't see my screen. If you can't see my screen, you can just refresh. You can just refresh your this thing, your network, because I can actually see the screen from the live stream. Okay. Okay. So a hyphen is a punctuation that can be used to connect um two words, like words like coordinator, or words like subsets. Wait, no, you don't use that for subsets. But like there are some words that you would need hyphen in it. So the last punctuation that we'll be talking about is parentheses. So yeah, it says that the use that parentheses are used to hold minor points and digressions. So it's used to inform reader that the enclosed text is not critical. because the enclosed text isn't critical. Some editors feel like the text deserve a parenthesis instead. So for example, this okay, they say they can't hear me. Please, if you can hear me, just leave a comment. Please, if you can hear me, just drop a comment. Okay, for the person asking, what if I already have the article written somewhere, maybe a doc or a PDF? Is there an option to upload it? I don't think there is one. So I would just advise you to copy the text and paste it on Medium. Then you can generate the draft link to see how your text would be, and then you can make corrections that way. All right, so you guys can hear me. So the last punctuation that we'll be talking about is parentheses, and this is an example of how to use a parenthesis. So yeah, it says binary mode relies on the more compact narrative form. And in the parenthesis, it now says described later in this document. So what it actually so what he actually says is that this is this is the form that the binary mode relies on, and much later we would be discussing on that. So the text inside the parenthesis is just an information that is not really essential to your reader, but it's good that they know that piece of information. So it's like an information that is good to know, but not really necessary to know. I hope you understand. I hope you understood me. So next up, let's talk about capitalization. When to make your article yes, when to use a capital letter and when not to use it. So if you look at this item, you would see that T is in capital letter, W is a capital letter, and O is in capital letter. So now it's not really every time that you should actually capitalize your words or your text in writing. So what I do is when I'm writing an article title, what I do is the very first letter of that word would be in a capital letter, because I feel like that way it draws the reader's attention to that. Because if all of them are in a small text, it will not really draw attention. Let me. Let me try to explain what I mean. So this one is every first letter of this. So every first letter of this is in capital. Now, if you decide to change it to small, now this would draw the attention of your reader more than this would draw the attention of your reader. Even if you decide to change it to new title, this would not have any sort of effect or draw any sort of attention. So it's always best that the first letter is in capital. This is better than this. That's just like based on my experience in writing. Okay. Lastly, or rather, before I move on to our last topic, do we have any question on capitalization? Okay. So since there are no question, lastly, let's talk about the use of abbreviation. So when writing, it's best that you know who you are writing for, because your target audience really can tell you a lot about how to use abbreviations in your content. And I believe that since most of us here we are beginners, it means that we would be writing for beginners. And since we'll be writing for beginners more often, it's always best that you should avoid the use of abbreviations, or when you really need to make the use of any abbreviation, it's always best that you write it in full before you use the abbreviation. Okay, for example, if I want to, um, what is a big, okay, if I want to say, I wrote my WAEC last month. This is good, but it is not advisable because there are some people out there that don't know the meaning of WAEC. So instead, the best thing for you to do is you write the meaning of the sorry, you write the full name first, which is West African Examination Council, before you write the WAEC. So this way, even someone that has never heard of WAEC before would know that, okay, this is an exam and you did that last month. So this is more advisable to do than I wrote my WAEC last month. Like your reader will just know, okay, so you did something last month, but will not know what you did. So this is a much better way. And another thing is when you define, or rather when you write the full text of the abbreviation at the beginning of your article, you can also decide to keep writing the abbreviation throughout your article because you already like explain or you defined it at the beginning of your article. That way, if someone comes across this, so if someone comes across this, they will know what hayek mean, and when they are reading the next line or the next sentence, they will know, oh, so since they already know what hayek mean, then this piece of information pass will digest better to your reader. So yes, but then it's always and always advisable to avoid using abbreviations a lot in your article. It's sort of poor since you are just starting out as a technical writer, and if you have like over 1,000 words and your reader is reading through it, at some point they would forget the meaning of the abbreviation, and the information that you are trying to pass might not be passed very well, and it will just leave your reader confused. All right, so that ends the class for today. So we've been able to talk about punctuation and the different types, how to use capitalization in your writing, and the proper use of abbreviation, or the best way to use an abbreviation in your writing. So if you have any question, do let me know. You can just drop it on the comments section and I would reply. Right. So since there are no questions, so I guess that ends the session for today. I hope you've learned a thing or two, and see you for the next session. Goodbye.